2020 might not have been a year you enjoyed, but thanks to promotion back to the top flight, Lyon's fans absolutely did. And since then, they finished 7th last year and they're currently 2nd in the French top flight, which is incredible for a team of their size. They've done this before, they actually won the league back in the 90s, but with a nice unique style of football and interesting players, I thought they would be perfect for you to do a FIFA save with. In this video, we'll go through the tactics that Darth Donut on my Discord has put together for me, so thank you very much for that. We'll be looking at the squad, so where you need to strengthen and who you need to develop, and hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have a good introductory knowledge and be really wanting to start a save with this small French team. So, to understand the players, first we have to understand the tactics. They like to play a 3-4-1-2, although in FIFA this is probably best represented as the 5-2-1-2 they actually start off with by default. Most often they play 3 at the back with Medina, Danso and Gradit as the 3 centre-backs. Danso is pretty tall, but the other 2 are both under 6 foot tall, so it might be somewhere you need to strengthen, but we'll look into that when we get into the squad. The midfield pivot, which is the 2 midfielders of Fofana and Dakori, is crucial for this formation to work. Thankfully, they're both very physical and both technical, so they're good at getting up and down the field and they actually take it in turns to do the covering and defending, and then doing the attacking and creating. Klaus and Frankowski in the wing-back positions are 2 of the best players outside of PSG this season so far. They've both provided many assists, been good getting forwards, and also been pretty adequate at defending. In front of Fofana and Dakori, they have Kakuta usually, who you might remember from Chelsea, but again, we'll get a little bit more information on him when we look at the squad. Finally, the forward 2 of Cali Muendo and Sotoca are very much a pressing forward and a poacher. Cali Muendo's a bit quicker, Sotoca has endless stamina and a really good engine, which is represented well on FIFA with high stamina, high work rates, and an engine trait, which gives him a little bit more pressing power. On screen right now is the suggested tactics from Darth Donut. So if you play in the 3-4-1-2, make sure you're pressing on heavy touch with a high line, you've got balanced forward runs, and then you've got these instructions on your player. You can really see that aggressive pressing on the false 9 is not really that common, but it's exactly how Sotoca plays. So it's a really good realistic recommendation there from Darth Donut on my Discord. If you want to see any more of his tactics, by the way, make sure you join the Discord, the link is in the description below. So, to summarise the tactics, you're playing 3-4-1-2 or 5-2-1-2, both very similar. The only difference is the wingbacks playing as midfielders in the 3 at the back formation. You need to press on heavy touch, you need to make the players attack with forward runs so that you get runners from midfield, and then you need to use these instructions on the players, or if you're going to sign new players, make sure you fit them to the tactic, because that's the whole ethos of the Lyon's manager, that he actually picks the tactics around the players. He doesn't have a preferred style. So if he goes to another club, he probably wouldn't use this system, he says. So that's a pretty cool and innovative manager right there. Okay, let's move on to the squad. In goal, you have Leca and Farinez, who are very interesting because they're both only 5'11". In FIFA, this might not be the best, especially as neither of them have very good jumping. So you might want to look into signing a more aggressive and dominant goalkeeper. Ahead of your goalkeeper, of course, in a 5-2-1-2, you'll find 3 centre-backs. Gradit, Medina and Danso are all very good centre-backs, to be honest. They all have a lot of pace, they're all good at jumping. However, Gradit and Medina are both less than 6 foot tall. Danso's about 6'3", so he's more than good enough in the air, and he'll probably be playing in the middle of the 3. But if you do want players who are going to help you not concede from corners, free kicks, throw-ins, then you might want to look into signing a taller centre-back here. Haidara and Wu can also play here, and Wu is 1m91, so despite him only being 65 overall, he does have potential to be the best of the lot, so it might be worth giving him quite a bit of game time, because he is fast and he is tall, which are 2 things that you do need in that centre-back position at 3 at the back. Of course, the 5-2-1-2 is a very full-back heavy formation. They're important for both attacking and defending. So at left back and left wing back, you've got Haidara, Machacho and Bora. On the right hand side, you've got Gradit, who of course is one of your centre-backs, and then you've got Klaus, who's a major threat from right wing-back. He's got great pace and crossing, and it makes him really good going forwards. However, he does lack in defensive awareness, so you might get counter-attacked where he's out of position, stuff like that if you're attacking down the right. So make sure that your right centre-back definitely has very good defensive awareness so that you're not just leaving a massive hole in your defence. For left wing back, I would recommend you probably use Frankowski. Although he's a left midfielder in game, he shouldn't take too long to sort of train to be a left wing back. He's definitely got the same kind of stats as Klaus, so I do recommend you use him on the left. In the middle of Klaus and Frankowski, you're probably going to want some box-to-box midfielders who are both good at tackling, defending, getting around the pitch and being technically gifted. And thankfully for you, Lyon already have this in Fofana and Dakori. Fofana might look like a typical box-to-box player, but he's actually strong enough to win the ball back while also being technically gifted enough to play it smartly in your attacks. He's going to be the person that breaks opposition plays, and he's going to be the one that makes your plays work. Alongside him, you have cheek Omar Dakori. He's still developing, he's only 21 years old, born in the year 2000, but again, he's got that same mix of stamina, strength, sprint speed, dribbling, defensive awareness, tackling, and short passing that will make him lethal when he does reach his potential, which is in the low 80s. Personally, I think this midfield combination is one of the best in the league. They both complement each other and they're both able to fit in either position. Usually they play Dakori a little bit behind Fofana to give Fofana's more stamina, a bit more room to go up and down the pitch, but any combination of roles and any combination of players works with these two. Behind them you have Kamara, who's probably not going to have potential to be good enough for Ligue 1, and you also have Kakuta, who's 36 years old with around 35 pace, so probably not going to be getting in your team anytime soon. Ahead of these two, in the one, you have Gail Kikuta. He's really the only option. Now, this guy you might know from playing for Chelsea. He's their main creator, but he also helps with defending by chasing back opposition players. He might not have been known for his work rate when he played for Chelsea, but these days he is a really hard-working attacking midfielder, and he's not lost any of his natural flair and creativity either. Kakuta did look like his career was going to be in a bit of a spin when he joined the Lone Army at Chelsea, playing for Fulham, Bolton, Lyon, Vitesse, Lazio and Vallecano. He even spent a couple of years in China, but it's really the move to Lyon on loan from Amiens that really did progress him into the footballer everyone knew he could be. In his return to Lyon, which is the team he left to join Chelsea from, he actually got 11 goals and 6 assists in 35 games, which is really good for a team that everyone thought would be battling relegation. However, he is now 30 years old, so you might want to start looking for a replacement very soon if you don't want to try and keep an old man Kakuta around at his boyhood club. Thankfully, France is absolutely stacked with talent in this position, so I'm sure you'll be able to find someone in the lower leagues that can replace Kakuta in a couple of seasons, but you only need to use him for the first 1 or 2, and then after that you'll probably have someone who you can help rotate in and out with him. In front of Gail Kikuta, usually they play Cali Muendo and Sotoca. Sotoca is the pressing forwards, he gets all around the pitch, he's actually really good at it. It reminds me of Jamie Vardy a couple of seasons ago, where he just never gave up on any ball. If it's there, if the defenders got it, this guy was on them. He just non-stop runs, and thankfully FIFA represents that pretty well with his high work rates and his 89 stamina. He doesn't have the best pace, he doesn't have the best finishing, but he will be more than good enough for you up front. Cali Muendo is a bit different. He only has 60 stamina and high-medium work rates. What he does have is slightly better finishing and much more pace, so he's more of the poacher that plays alongside. He's also got quite a bit of potential, the highest in the whole team. He's only 19 years old, so let's see if he can get into that low 80s like FIFA say that he can. The other option up front is Ignatius Ganago. So this guy is just as fast as Cali Muendo, but he's a bit better at finishing, and he is 22 years old. He's capable of playing in any of the wing positions or centre forward, so I'd recommend messing around with the tactics and formation to see if you can get the best out of him. He's got good pace, so you're probably going to want to play him through the middle. He's a little bit taller than Cali Muendo too, so you're probably going to be playing him alongside Sotoca, with Sotoca on press at all times. So, to sum up that entire team in a couple of sentences, it's really good at pressing. The average stamina is in the mid-80s, and it's got quite a bit of young talent who can progress into the mid-80s themselves. It's in need of a backup attacking midfielder, probably a first choice taller goalkeeper, and maybe a left wing back, but the rest of the squad is fit and good enough to actually play similarly to how they do in real life. And I'd rate the squad around the 5th to 10th best in the league, which is where you're going to probably expect them to finish this season if they do drop away from this second place charge, as much as I do hope they get into the Champions League. If you do decide to do the same, make sure you keep as many minutes in Klaus and Fofana as you can, because they are by far your 2 best players FIFA stats wise. But don't neglect to try and develop Cali Muendo and Medina, who are both going to be good players as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully my voice, my cold, isn't so annoying that you turned it off after a couple of minutes. If you did make it this far, thank you so much, and please subscribe and like the video and all that normal stuff if you did enjoy and want to see more of this kind of stuff. So I'm going to say thank you all for watching and see you in the next video, where I'm going to be talking about a different team from a different country, probably West Ham in England. So thank you all for watching. If you've got any suggestions for teams I can talk about, please do let me know by leaving a comment below or messaging me on Discord or Twitter or anything like that. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you very soon, and cheers.